Well, the Saints are in the rebuild, and I don't know if they were ever going to go all the way into it on their own. It seemed like they were always going to try to keep trying to stay competitive and just kind of keep going for it and keep adding to it and hoping that at some point they fully struck gold. And maybe that would have been the way to get to the promised land, but it feels like that path kind of got cut off today when we learned that Derek Carr has a shoulder injury and he might miss all of next season, which practically speaking, I think brings his tenure with the Saints most likely to a close if he ends up undergoing the knife. This segment's presented by Matt Bowers Auto Group. If you're in the market for a new car, make sure you go check out his new used car dealership up on Vets. It's right downstairs from us. Go buy a car, wave to us upstairs, and do what you do. Go be great. Anyhow, though, it's time. It's time. Like they have to do this. And it's going to be a really interesting process to see play out because the team hasn't been in this situation since before Drew Brees ended up here. And even then, they were a competitive team. It's been quite a while. And really, if you think about it, this might be the most insecure the team has been at quarterback in decades, which is a crazy statement to make because there was a whole long history when the team was in a terrible situation. And there have been some bad spots over the last 5 years, but right now, there isn't a whole lot on the roster. The team has Spencer Rattler, who still has a ton of upside and a ton of potential and a ton of possibility. And if it's his time next season and he's the guy starting from day one, he's going to have a lot better structure on him. So we're going to get a real true evaluation from him if he's the guy they put under center. But this is the furthest they've been from a sure thing in a really, really long time. And I think that opens up every option in the draft. I think you have to look at everything that's possible there. I think 2 days ago, you still had to look at everything that was possible there. And I think 2 days ago, my preferred outcome was to see them like a quarterback they liked enough at 9 to draft him and to have that next guy that you feel like is certainly your future on the roster. But I think now that we know this, I don't think you change up your approach too much at how you approach that position. I think you still have to have good process. You got to like the guys you're drafting, all that stuff. But I do think it changes up the ability to flex. I think you flex a little bit more than you were willing to flex before. And I think you have to be a little bit more aggressive than you were willing to be before. And obviously the Saints knew about this. We were told they knew about it. And this isn't a huge surprise to them, but it's a surprise to us. And I think it changes how you analyze the whole entire situation. New information, new process, new way to go forward. The uncertainty was a year away. Now it's here today. And I think that just changes how you look at everything. So Shooter Sanders is potentially someone that's going to slip. I think you have to look real hard at him. Jackson Dart, somebody that the team spent some time around. I think you have to look real hard at him. Tyler Shuck was in the building today, meeting with the team. He's somebody that I think they're looking at real hard. So there's a lot of stuff that I think is now in play more so. It's really not a whole huge new future because you kind of were looking at it like a year from now, Derek Carr is probably not here. A year from now, you probably need a new quarterback, but it's here now. And I'm excited to kind of see it unfold. It feels like the time was here. It feels like the time was now. It feels like this was something that kind of had to happen and it was going to happen. And it feels like you hate it for Derek Carr. I mean, you hate it for veteran players that are on this team. You hate it for Tyrann Mathieu. You hate it for Alvin Kamara. You hate it for Cam Jordan. You hate it for Demario Davis because, those guys have been around for a while and you wanted to see them get one more chance to chase it, maybe to build a decent team, have a good draft, and be one more chance to get into the playoffs. Feels like that's a little bit further away now than it was, but it felt like it was just time. It feels like it's kind of time. I think it's probably the best thing for Derek Carr to be able to go out and explore his future. And if this is it, it feels like the right time. And it feels like the right time for the Saints. They got a new coach. They got a new situation. They got Kellen Moore here. He can build this team the way he wants to build it now going forward. He has a chance to go out unencumbered and find the next quarterback or move forward with one of the guys on the roster at full velocity if that's the choice that he wants to make. Whatever it is now built at the most important position. You have a coach who is a quarterback, who grew up as a quarterback. He's going to be able to have his quarterback. And that just feels right. It feels right. And at some point that was going to happen. It might have ended up being Derek Carr. They might have fell in love with each other, the situation, whatever, and been good with it. But It feels like time, and it feels like it's a new chapter. And honestly, it's due. It's due. It's time to figure out something new, raise the ceiling, build a new ceiling, whatever it is. It feels like time for something new. And ready or not, it's here. It's time to figure it out.